Bitcoin, the king, the colossal titan, showing a lot of strength. We look at total, it's leading at 1.83%, total 2, which holds ETH, everything but Bitcoin, as 1.38%, and total 3, which excludes Bitcoin and ETH, following behind at 1.2. So we know that this rally is being led by Bitcoin, and we can see that the Bitcoin dominance is up as well. So Bitcoin is currently leading, and you can see it's showing strength. It's ripping through all of my trend lines here. So what I'm thinking is, let's have a look at some of these trend lines that I've got in place. Are they being respected? Are our targets being met? Is Bitcoin kind of showing any weakness or anything like that? So let's have a look. We had this ascending triangle in play right here. You can see it there. We met that target, came up like this, broke out, hit the upside target, broke back down out of it, and then went into this small bear flag. That's this one here. So we came back down into it. That's a bear flag. We broke out of the bear flag and met the target right down here. Okay, it was the target of the downside of this ascending triangle and also this bear flag. So we met that target. It was easy to see, and we did that. Then we broke up and we've come into this triangle here. That's here, right here. That's a bull flag or bull pennant. And also I mentioned yesterday or the day before that we was forming a potential sort of inverse head and shoulders, and we've broken out of that triangle. Let's have a look at what's going on right now then. So zooming over to the hourly, swinging on my Gantt swings here, we can look at this in a bit more detail because we are detectives. Remember, we're detectives. You don't know what's happening on this side of the chart. And are these trend lines being respected? All these ones from back here where I had the bear flag, where I had the ascending triangle, was it worth still having in play? And you can see on the hourly chart that it was. You can see right here, rejected at that trend line, came pushed back up, came back down, respected the top of that swing there, and pushed right out. Came back down, respected this one here. And these trend lines have been in play for weeks now. And you can see that they're even being respected, even if it is on the hourly chart. Pushed back out, came up here, hit the top of that trend line right there. Excuse me. And this is where we are right now. I think I'm at RSI. There we go. So on the hourly, let's see if we can see any sort of weakness. We can see that we're hella overbought on the RSI. Volume is high, and that's good for our pushes out, our breakouts. That's true. We are getting a bit of bearish RSI divergence. Price is going higher at each of these swings, while the RSI is getting a little bit lower. It's not clean. It's not clean enough. I'd like to see a bit more of a down swooping line here. So something a bit more like that coming down on the hourly chart to show me some weakness. But we know where our target is, right? If I zoom back out 4 hour, I just kind of want to know where our target is, because remember yesterday I was tracking the inverse head and shoulders, and you want to get the bottom of the swing to the top of the neckline. Okay, so remember this is the left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder, and there's the neckline. So I'm grabbing it from the bottom here to the top. Grab that. So where the breakout is, that's where the breakout is, and you can see it's coming to main resistance will be the monthly swing up here. And I mentioned this. I did mention that. So let's have a look. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it reacts up here. I mentioned that there's a lot of resistance up here in yesterday's video because of the weekly swing and the monthly swing. But Bitcoin's here right now, and you can see the wicks are starting to come up on the hourly chart, 4 hourly chart here. So let's monitor it for the rest of the day. Let's monitor it and see how this Titan deals with things. And if we're gonna break out of this, I guess in terms of a pattern, what we might want to see is a sort of cup and handle. So we got a cup like that, and then the handle. So we might break down a little bit, so the price kind of comes down like that before we push up again. And again, if you did that as a pattern, then we would get from the bottom of that swing to the cup, the top of the cup, and extrapolate that from wherever it breaks out from. So for example, if it was to do that, create the handle, you know, our target would be up here at 50 odd K, 54K. But that's just big speculation there. It's a bit too early to say all of that, but yeah, it's looking good. Bitcoin's looking good, man. Bitcoin is looking good. Altcoins, what's the altcoins saying? Yeah, the altcoins are getting a bit of a rally. Injective 5%, that's looking good. Ordinals pumping versus their Bitcoin value. They're getting hit by their Bitcoin value a little bit, but Rune and Sol, okay, they're looking a bit good, and Render is looking strong. And the stock markets are still good, right? They're still all-time highs. Yeah, still all-time highs. Still at all-time highs, the stock markets. And as long as this is going up, then we're okay as well. How about the NASDAQ? Tech stocks, top tech stocks in the US, in the world, and that's pushing to all-time highs. It's all looking good. Dow Jones, all-time highs. All markets are all-time highs. So yeah, risk on appetite is here. So Bitcoin's doing well. It's doing well. It hasn't broken out of all-time highs yet. That typically happens when the stock market, it only happens when the stock market sort of breaks out and then usually has a retest. Well, in the previous cycles, that is. Then when it has a retest and then breaks out, that's when Bitcoin has its run. But Bitcoin's looking strong at the moment. It's looking strong. So let's continue to monitor this. Yeah, but have a good day, everyone.